This is the face of a man who has crippled America, who's brought the office of president and the White House into disrepute and not trusted. He's introduced trade wars that are now escalating. He's threatening to put billions of dollars against other countries, and they will retaliate. And the only people that's going to suffer are the American people paying higher prices. At one stage he was praising Harley Davidson, and then when they went to move one of their factories to Europe, only just one, he immediately attacked them and went on the attack quite badly with them. This is a man who hates. He thinks more of Kim Jong-un and Korea than he does of anybody else. He's come up with a negotiation that says about denuclearization. The document says nothing about they are. It says working towards, so it's a failure. He thinks more of Putin than anybody else. He's sucking up to him all the time, and in the Oval Office he gave away secret information, and only Russian photographers were allowed to be in there. No American photographers were allowed, and yet this is supposed to be the head office of the President of the United States, and yet he welcomes Russians in as though they're old friends. This is a man who thinks more of Russia than he does of the Allies. He's insulted the Allies. He even insulted Canada, Great Britain, and he's even had the cheek to turn round and say to France, leave the EU, just what Putin wants. Look at this, pushing the Montenegro Prime Minister out of the way, like the bully that he is. This is Trump all over. A man full of hate. Hate for anybody else that is blocking his way so that he looks good. A man who hates immigration. A man who hates other countries. Look at these kids, ripped away because of his policies. He's wrecked healthcare. He's taken healthcare from millions of people purely for the insurance companies, and his Republican friends just back him and are too cowardly to do anything about it. He claims he's successful. Look at these failures he's had, but he will never admit that. He introduced a policy, not the law, the policy, that meant that these kids were caged, taken away from parents. And do they care? Does the administration or him care? No, of course he doesn't. As long as he gets what he wants and he looks good, he will continue to deny it all the time. But the people have stood up. They have protested, and they still need to protest to get these kids back, because they're now, some of them, in foster care, and it's making it more difficult. He signed a so-called document, the executive order, to return the kids. But with a lot of them now being put into foster care, it's making it almost impossible. The United States has forcibly removed the kids from the parents. He's got the power to allow some of the criteria to be forgotten, but he won't. He is the closest thing to Adolf Hitler. You've only got to look at the differences to see that this is what he is.
There is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. When you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men, men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore.
But it could be once again if this man is removed. America could be great again. It's down to you.